What's going on, everybody? Brett here, and I'm back today playing some more Battle Brothers on our Warriors of the North DLC Let's Play. Alright guys, I did some stuff off camera. So, we were originally down here when we left off last time. I ended up walking all the way back. I made kind of a big circuit. You know, you can see here our coffers are a bit lighter than they were before. I made a big circuit of all of the biggest cities that we can potentially buy things from. And the only good piece that I was able to pick up after doing some quests and, you know, kind of knocking out some locations, the only good piece I found was a great piece, I think it was the Sallet with Mail, or the well-crafted open Sallet. It was one of these two. I think it was the one that I put on Ragnar. So the best crossbow helmet in the game, essentially. One of the best helmets in the game, period, at 323 durability. If you look at, like, the Emperor's Countenance is 400. Actually, that's a bad example. That's the best helmet in the game, I believe. Look at something else. Yeah, Sir Libric's conic feathered helmet on, you know, Fritz is worse than... Actually, let's look at Gimli's. Gimli's is 308. So yeah, these are, like, super heavily armored. They're also super light at only 16 fatigue versus something like 19. And also the reduction in vision, -1, is negligible on crossbowmen. So now we finally have both Ragnar and Leisure Side outfitted with their best possible helmets, and probably, you know, some really good in-slot, or, you know, at their equivalent to their tier armor that they can be wearing, as well as, you know, impalers. So this is going to be a tricky fight, guys, and yes, it is going to be a fight for those of you who aren't familiar. I also got a free full helm from a hedge knight that I killed as part of a quest. Something I was going to give to our boy Behemoth here. That's 250 for 23. Yeah, if we're gonna do this, let's give him a good chance of winning. And you know what? Even better than that, let's do him one better. We definitely want him in here. Let's just go ahead and let him borrow some good armor. And if we have any other instances of, you know, great armor that we can lend, something like the Sellsword's hide, for instance, could be something. Yeah, like that. Let's see how much this weighs comparatively. So 19, 20. This is just better. Anyone else on the front line could use a little buff? Not really. I think that's pretty good. So there's a lot of strats we could use going into this. I'm going to just stick with what I'm doing right now. I'm just going to try and overpower, bully this fight, and we'll see how that goes. We will see how that goes. My first guess will be not that well. And I'm going to talk more about the strategy of the fight as we get into it, of course. But before we get in over our heads, let's go ahead and enter the watermill. So, before you enter the watermill, got to make sure you have the sword blade. And this is for the people who perhaps aren't following episode to episode. The sword blade is a piece you get from the Kraken. The reason you're able to fight the Kraken is because you went to the watermill first, and this man, this ethereal man, gives you this quest to go out and find the sword blade. Supposedly his son's sword, his ancestral sword. And now we return with the sword blade in hand. The elderly man is already waiting for you when you enter. He turns rather rapidly as though interrupted. So you have returned. And have you succeeded? Have you avenged my boy? Are you, Sellsword, worthy? Would this make me worthy? The blade of the reproach of the old gods vibrates and hums. You hold it forward in both hands, the steel wobbling ever so slightly on your fingers. Smiling once more, the elder nods and turns his hand to the hanging hilt. It lifts up its holder and floats across the room to your hands. There it turns aside and melds with the steel, becoming whole with a flash of orange and blue. It is one of the most incredible blades you've ever seen, with glyphs of moons and stars flaring along the fuller. When you look up, you can see through the elder's chest as he steadily fades away. My son has been avenged. His spirit can rest. And now, so can mine. You watch as the finished sword lifts into the air and rotates with the steel pointed down. The cupboards burst open, and strips of leather fly out and clasp shots of bindings that draw together to complete a sheath. You lose the sword blade. I'll take it. Here we go. The reproach of the old gods then falls, and you reach to catch it, but a ghostly hand steals it away. You look up to see the Elder unsheathing the blade, revealing its fire and ice as though he brokered a new day and gloomy night in the very spectrum of its steel. He chokes with laughter. Avenge my son? Be worthy? Idle doings for simpletons. You did well to chase the carrot, sellsword, and for that I will kill you quick. Pauldrons and bracers in a chest plate rise out of the mill well, sheets of grain streaming off them to reveal their garish shapes, and the metals twist and float to the Elder, fiercely striking his body as though they meant to armor the very anvil that helped craft them. The suit of steel comes together as its occupant croaks with laughter. Hands grab you by your shoulders and drag you out of the house. You are shielded by the Jarls of Jorvik. The Elder Geist turns his head. A mob of morons, is it? Depart, the lot of you, and you shall be spared. I only ask that you leave me the captain, as I have already promised his demise. Behemoth the Black draws his weapon, and the rest of the company follows suit. The Elder holds up the crepuscular sword in return. Though the steel is firmly real, the Elder's body is rippling to and fro like a thinly veiled curtain on a moonlit night. He sighs and parts of blue ether drift from his lips. He turns the blade so its edge faces you. So be it. To battle. Alright guys, this is a tough battle. It's an extremely tough battle. We're fighting a few fallen heroes. We know what that's like. Many fallen betrayers. So, while we fight, I should have looked this up beforehand. There's a great wiki where you can go to see the exact, exact stats and abilities of, units. And yeah, I should have looked that up beforehand to give you guys the differences between fallen heroes and fallen betrayers, because I'm actually quite curious. Their gear is identical, but I think they may have something a little bit stronger about them. And then this is the only time you'll ever fight them as well. And then of course the Rachegeist, which is the boss himself, incredibly powerful. So this battle is very tough. The last time I did this for the last series, I had to do it, I don't know, 10 times, and it was rough. I have strategies that we can fall back on if we're not able to brute force this, but let's see how it goes. Engage. Alright, let's see what we can see. They still have lots of messed up armor. We're going to pass with our archers and let them get closer. That's the Rachegeist. And that's the reproach of the old gods in his hand. So one of the main strategies here is to engage him with either a taunt bro with a shield with really high melee defense, preferably a lone wolf, and then just to turtle up as hard as you can against the Rachegeist. We're going to kind of let him get in for the purposes of this first run and see what we can do. Love that we got a little bit of a hill. Alright, so we're going to want to shoot at, of course, the ones without shields. And we miss and we still manage to make contact. So a big component of this battle that I found is overwhelm. So having high initiative, the perfect brother, I think, to fight the Rachegeist would certainly be John, our sword master. He's someone that I would expect would be very good at dealing with it. And that strategy came up pretty big for me in my last Let's Play. Able to aggressively apply overwhelm, making it so that the Rachegeist just could never hit him. The bonuses from Lone Wolf, coupled with all the other defensive bonuses that you get on a fencing bro, plus, the shield. I think I had the Kraken shield on him at the time, and his stats were just plain high. Made it incredibly difficult for the Rachegeist to hit us. And the reasons why that's important should become quite abundant as soon as the Rachegeist is able to actually, you know, engage with us. We've been able to keep him back with some pretty slick, like, impaler shots. That's not even something I don't think I've ever thought of before. Just keeping them away. But look at how dangerous these weapons are. Kind of happy that Isaac has been jumped on here. It's going to make it take a little bit longer for the Rachegeist to go around, is my idea. Okay, good hit. So a Fallen Betrayer, if you're wondering why I've been a bit silent, the Fallen Betrayer has 20 more HP that I see. They also have 20 more melee skill, 10 more initiative, and they have a base melee defense of 5, as opposed to 0 on the standard Fallen Heroes. Huh. Interesting. Okay, without going too much into that, they appear to have mostly the same abilities. I can look into that a bit more once we get like a lull in the battle. Let's go for Destroy Armor. We'll do that twice, and that just completely wrecked every bit of armor he had. And of course, just due to the sheer like danger of the weapons involved in this battle, the sooner we crush most of these, the safer we will be in turn. Oh, right, okay. Let's, can I not do that? Interesting, okay. I brought holy water for this fight so I could splash it on these guys. Alright, one more turn, like I said. Down they go. And the Rachegeist is super fast, so applying Overwhelm isn't going to work except with the kind of the fastest of units. Knock him back again, I love it. That's so strong. But seriously though, if we can get Isaac or someone out there to keep him away from us, that would be awesome. Well, I didn't expect to be able to do that, but we can't even switch out. What a mistake. As long as this guy is here, I can't do anything with Hans. Let's get in here. Destroy armor. And I'm actually going to drop a dog. Oh, it sucks that it's Battle Brother. But let's give them other targets besides just bros. We're going to want as much HP as we can get. Knocking him back one more turn. Excellent. And there goes our bone plating. And I feel like Battle Brother might take a death for us here. Man, that's a lot of swings he's taken. Alright, sorry Battle Brother. This is one of those do or die fights. If we step down, we can't do anything anyway, so we'll stay up here where it's safe. If anyone's going to get surrounded, we're kind of happy, I guess, that it's Isaac with his healing. Let's knock back. Can we switch now? Okay. And once we throw it, we'll be able to pull out our hammer if we would like. Alright, I kind of like that, honestly, because now it gives us the opportunity to catch the Rachegeist in the holy water. Just knock him back. Yeah, let's wait and let them come to us. Once again, important to remember that decapitations don't really play a role here. We could step up, go for a big hit on the Rachegeist. Happy to land it. Nice. Happy that he's only stepping in there. And so what we're going to do with the throwing the blessed water. So throw a flask of blessed water towards a target where it will shatter and spray its contents. The blessed water will burn the undead but will not affect other targets. Inflicts 20 damage to hit points for 3 turns, all of which ignores armor. And it can also hit bystanders. So if we throw it here, there's a good chance we get hit the other ones. And we do. Now that we've done that, let's get the big hammer out. And we'll be ready to use that next turn. We're not out of the woods yet. We're doing surprisingly well, honestly. Damn, I went for double destroy armor, and we whiffed both times. Destroy armor would have been clutch there. If we could have really handled the Rachegeist before it was able to attack us once with the sword, that would have been amazing. Now I seriously have my doubts that we're going to make it through this as unscathed as it at first appeared. Our brothers have very high HP. Which is relevant. Gotta love this axe, it does so much damage. So right here we got 101, 91, 78, 101. These are the type of fights where it comes in handy. But I am sad that we missed both of those attacks. We could have just gone for standard attacks. Might have been better. Now it looks like Gimli's going to take... Oh my god, that hurt. That's why, guys. That is why. So that is the Reproach of the Fallen Gods effect. It is a lightning effect that bounces from unit to unit up to 3 times. So you'll notice all 3 of these units got hit. It does some damage. I don't remember the exact number off the top of my head. But it hurts. Alright, let's take that out. Excellent attack. Get out the banner. Step in here so we have multiple targets for next turn. Come on, we need another big hit, Gimli. That was a good one. And we are going to drop a dog. The dog will either take multiple hits from here, or it'll give another target for the lightning to bounce to. Either one of those things would be valuable to us at this point. The lightning bounce is somewhat predictable, though not completely. That was an excellent miss. We needed that. Yeah, this entire battle may have hinged on us missing those 2 attacks on the Rachegeist. We need to expect for some of these to get back up. Okay, and while they're taking their turn, I'm going to read you guys the stats on the Rachegeist itself. It has 275 HP. Oh my god, that hurt. But the dog took the hit. That's amazing. Wow, I mean, its defensive and offensive stats are huge. So, yeah, we're going to get to that in a second. I didn't really want to ruin the kind of the second quote-unquote stage of the fight. But this is not the end of the Rachegeist. Once we destroy this physical form, it has another form. So, in its current form, it has 500 HP. It has 25 melee defense, 95 melee skill. It has crippling strikes. It has resilient. Makes sense. And of course, it also has the weapon, which is definitely the primary effect that you have to be worried about. Damn, okay. I saw an easy kill and a chance to get a reset, so I took it. Let's put these bill hooks to use. Now, it's nice that we're kind of like picking up their weapons, but the undead can grab weapons from off the ground. That was great. So we've kind of got the Rachegeist isolated. And we've nearly got it dead. At kind of the perfect time. And the more brothers we get nearby, I'm gonna say the better it is, because it's gonna dilute the amount of targets for the lightning. Which means the odds of one of the brothers getting focused down is gonna go down significantly. I don't think Longfang is long for this world. So when Longfang goes down, we'll be able to step in. And Longfang almost takes the kill. Okay. Very good. We'll wait here. Oh, that was a really crummy miss. Let's get closer. Give ourselves a little bit better of a surround. That's a dead Rachegeist. So here's the issue, guys. This is where the fight actually gets tough. That was a good start. The Rachegeist still has the sword. He still has the sword. So still incredibly dangerous. We've gotten a bit lucky already in killing a few of these guys. Huh. This just increases our damage, not our chance to hit. But what we absolutely have to do is we need to get our banner out. And we almost one-shot him with the hammer. Please. Oh my god, come on, game. Don't do me like that. Alright, adrenaline. Oh, we already switched. Okay, we're going to have to turtle up around our banner a bit. Alright, we need Svarog to be the hero of his people. It's a 51% chance to end this nonsense. And we whiff. God, that hurts. Alright. Let's see if we can do it, guys. We have to withstand this turn. Our brothers are still fighting. No one's running yet. He attacks twice now. We need to get the banner out. $58. We'll try. Alright, and the Rachegeist is done. But can we finish this fight? I don't know. $34, $39. Beautiful, Behemoth. Come on, Isaac. Don't fail me now, brother. We're going to take him down first because he was still holding a weapon. Other than that, I think we let the Geist come to us. Like, I don't know why I would chase that Geist out there. Now, one of the biggest problems is that the Geist completely bypass armor. So our brothers that have already taken a bunch of damage from the sword are especially vulnerable to the Geists. I wish Behemoth could get back, but I don't think he can. Guys, if we do this on our first try, I'm going to be mightily happy. Okay, Lancel's running. That's to be expected. We can try and rally him. Alright, Svarog's running as well. A 5% chance. That's so garbage. Is there anything else we can do? There isn't. %47 chance. If we move closer to Svarog and do that, there we go. Thank you. Alright, another one bites the dust. Isaac has to live, though. Perfect. We're doing it, guys. Just try and consolidate a little bit harder. And I'm going to step in here. Our most hurt brothers right now take stock. Gimli, Ragnar, Lancel and Svarog are a little bit injured. But the idea being that if they do want to come in, which I don't think they do, I think the AI will probably sit them back and keep yelling at us. Yeah, I'd much rather them target Kata there. Let's come out here. In all honesty, the most dangerous thing on the field is probably the fallen hero with a big axe. I expected the round swing and I can't even believe we just dodged all of it. That's so good. Guys, I am stoked that it looks like we're going to do this on our first try. I'm not trying to jinx us. I could still definitely mess this all up somehow. I think it's safe enough to move Lancel in. I mean, he's got 63. It's just someone like Ragnar we don't want to move in the low 30s. At some point, I think the Geist is going to have to come to us. It's just not close enough to do anything else. And at full HP, at 101 HP, there's really no one better on our team, really, to wear this armor than him. He just completely benefits from having the HP heal. So with this group, I mean, we've got to be able to, yeah, they're not even attacking us. Y'all, this fight is so dangerous. All it would have taken was a few more consecutive shots from the Rachegeist, and this fight would have gone sideways like instantly. And we're done. Oh my god, I'm so happy. And here it is in our hands, the reproach of the old gods. The crepuscular sword bends purples and oranges until it seemingly carries twilight itself in its fuller. Held to the touch, one cannot tell if they are being burned or chilled, magic or well crafted. Whatever the weapon is, it vibrates as though it were fighting off power immense, and you need only swing it to find the steel's true charge. Oh my gosh. We did it, guys. And for the moment, I'm going to give that sword to Ragnar. Though he, or not to Ragnar, to our Thane. Let's give him back his armor as well. Though, rightfully, the sword will probably go in the hands of John. So if you look at the bottom, it says, inflicts an additional 10 to 20 damage that ignores armor to up to 3 targets. Against some enemies, it's just a complete game changer. It just absolutely wins fights. Especially against where we're going next, the Black Monolith. It destroys the Ancient Dead. It just like, sometimes it just one-shots them nearly. So having this before we get to that fight is just an enormous advantage. Let's repair these. They're worth quite a bit. All the gear we just picked up is super valuable. So we're going to repair that. Let's give Behemoth back his stuff. And then I had taken the sword off of Skeeb. Fritz is a cleaver user. We never did find any like one-handed cleavers. And I will say that the blessed water came in handy. So, guys, just to take a second to kind of think, all right, let's get a little bit cerebral about the process of what we just did. Normally what happens is, and I'll say this because I've done the fight well over 10 times. What normally happens is the Rachegeist runs in ahead, is super fast, bursts you down with so much lightning that your brothers just can't handle it, and they die. They just start to die. Boom, 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 like dominoes. You can use dogs to kind of, like I did there, to absorb a few hits. Let's not forget that Battle Brother died. Rest in peace. Pay respects to Battle Brothers in the comment section. Yeah, let's not forget that Battle Brother died. But you can use dogs to absorb some of those shots. Although, I felt like even using the dogs there was a bit risky because we really needed the spots around the Rachegeist to get him. What I've done in the past, I've mentioned, use a brother like John. So John, I would give him my best shield. He's super light. He has dodge, which is great. He would have Lone Wolf active. He would also have Overwhelm, lowering melee skill, which is very high on the Rachegeist. And he would just be stacking that over and over and over again and making it so that he doesn't get hit. Now in the second phase, once you're finally able to kind of thin out the herd of the undead, they're not regenerating as much, and it's just you and the Rachegeist, and hopefully your tank, you know, absorbing all those hits. He also doesn't have Shield Master. I wish he did. I wish I had one more perk on everybody. Anyway, once you've isolated the Rachegeist, you take him down and you prepare, right? You get your brothers together, you wrap around your bannerman, and you get ready for the Geist incoming. And then you try and, once again, kill the Rachegeist without getting hit by the reproach of the old gods. The Flasks of Blessed Water are amazing for that. But even still, you know, this only does 20 damage for 3 turns, so 60 damage over 3 turns. 3 turns where he's hitting you multiple times, and he still has the reproach of the old gods going. And even in his ethereal form, he has 275 HP. And as I'm reading here now, just a ton of... Yeah, you can't... Of course, you also can't shoot him. So there's a lot of strengths that he has in both forms. And luckily, we were just able to brute force it. Our brother's level is, you know, relatively high. We're not maxed out or anything on anybody. But, whew, man, I can't even believe we did it on the first shot. Cannot believe it. Now I guess the only thing left to do is to go and, you know, attack some people with the sword and show you guys the true power of it. We did lose Battle Brother, and that was on Lancel. I think we had a backup Battle Brother, but that was the one that had the unhold armor. Oh man. We have a lot of repairing to do. Many Orc Berserkers. Are we in good enough shape to fight a bunch of Orc Berserkers? Not really. We could change some people out though. Behemoth's fine. Svarog's fine. Ragnar's okay because he's in the back line. That's super damaged. Who needs to come out? Oh, Wonton's armor took a big hit there. You know what? Let's just, honestly, I want to save the game. So let me talk about this for a second. Kind of unrelated to in-game problems, but YouTube, guys, I've got a video. It's the second part of a Darkest Dungeon run. And YouTube will not finish processing this video. I've tried, I don't know how many different things, tips and tricks off the internet, whatever, to get it to work. And nothing is working. The video has been at 95% processing for literal days. I've tried, you know, uploading it multiple times on different browsers. I've tried, you know, there's so many little tricks and things, and some of which I even noticed before I ever started looking it up if I ever had problems. But I can't get it to work, and it is kind of a, I'm not saying important, but it's a pretty big, hour-and-a-half long part of our Darkest Dungeon series, and it just will not upload. I fight the Sleeper, if you're familiar with that boss. I fight, man, what else do I fight? I fight all kinds of stuff. The Necromancer, the second tier boss battle, and a few other things. Really cool stuff happens in the episode, I just can't get it to upload. And unfortunately for me, Darkest Dungeons is one of those games where there's no save file, right? If something had gone wrong in this battle, or in the, you know, the battle we just did, I could reload the save, perhaps pretend like nothing ever happened if that's something I like to do, but I don't. I generally tell you guys if there's an issue or if I felt like I needed to restart. I tell you how many times I fail, which I think is important too for transparency. So you guys have an idea when you go into the battles. You're not just thinking I'm a magic man, I'm super skilled, and I do everything perfect on the first shot, because that's not the case. I make mistakes pretty regularly. But, so, yeah, it won't load. I mean, that's the long and short of it. It won't load, and it's incredibly frustrating. It's indomitable there. They'll probably charge Behemoth. And of course I come into here to show you guys the strength of the sword. I'm not going to get to use it at all. Wow, almost one shot at our shield. That is a unique shield. I'd rather not lose that. It's always risky stepping into Berserkers. You really want to prolong the engagement for as long as possible when you have this much ranged. I actually really don't mind them jumping into the back line. And he destroyed... Oh my god. Oh my god. That is one of my favorite shields. We had 3 of them. Alright, let's kill these guys before they can get into our back line and start causing problems. We'll tie this one down. And the other one will shoot. Here we go. Happy to make him want to flee, because at least now Lancel's not in any danger. You know what, guys? I'm not even going to reload this. We lost the shield. It sucks so much because it's an incredibly powerful shield. We have a few backups, and we're going to make a Kraken shield soon. But you know what? We had the good fortune to one-shot one of the most difficult boss battles in the game. So the least we could do is have the good grace. Now, if you destroy my... I was going to say, at least we could do is have the good grace to take a minor setback. Like losing a unique shield. But I was going to say, I'm not about to lose a Lindworm shield too. If we tie him down. There we go. And that's the fight. Would be sweet if they gave me like a replacement shield. I would take that. But guys, you didn't really get to see the power of the sword there. But trust me, it's strong. It is strong. And Lancel, do we have an extra shield? We have these big orc ones. Lancel's got some decent fatigue. I'll take the one with better melee defense, I guess. And I feel like I really need to give somebody this sword here, the Shamshir. The idea was always to give this sword to John. So let's just go ahead and do that. Is anyone using a really generic weapon? Aside from Fritz? Fritz is just a cleaver master, so he's just kind of stuck with that. I think everyone's got a unique weapon except for Wonton, Fu, and Fritz. Yeah. So what are we doing now? Well, we've got a little bit more time. We could go straight to the Black Monolith fight. That sounds a little boring, honestly. I'd rather go and try and pick some more big fights in the world. Kind of push ourselves. You know, it takes a long time to get to the power level where we are now. Where we can even hope to one-shot a boss like we just did. See what's in this corner. Probably some good secret stuff. Nope, nothing. So let's enjoy it, you know. Let's take on the big battles, the big barbarian fights. We'll do it for at least one episode. I'm thinking, you know, on some free time of mine, I'll make the circuit one more time, try to see if there's any good gear for purchase, and then I'll kind of bring us up here. Maybe we'll do an episode where we try and just take on some ridiculously powerful fights. Not really the best prices here for selling. And then we'll make our way to the Black Monolith as just kind of, you know, par for the course what we're going to do. We are nearly out of tools, so we'll buy that. Pick up extra 150 ammo. Some fish and bread and meat. Put us back up to 6 days. And let's just I'm just going to take a minute to kind of like decompress, guys. I was so stressed going into that fight that I still kind of feel it physiologically. Because YouTube-wise, video game-wise, things have been going really poorly for me. And I don't know if you guys have heard, if you watch enough YouTube, you may have heard some other YouTubers complain about the new like YouTube beta stuff. It's bad, y'all. This is probably good enough to sell, so I'm just going to sell. It's basically like they're forcing their kind of like their next generation. And next generation, I didn't explain that very well. It's basically all the menus, right? It's the menu options for uploading videos and how you look at your analytics and all this different stuff. And before it was very clear. I'm honestly not sure, if they're just trying to make progress for progress' sake, which I understand. Nothing should ever just stay the same. But at the same time, everything looked great. I don't know if you've ever seen what it looks like when someone goes to upload a video, how you do the descriptions and everything. It was very, I would say basic, but basic in a good way. And now it's like I'm looking at some sort of weird app or something, and it feels way less convenient, and moving around it feels less navigable. So I don't know. I don't know if maybe even the time of the update had something to do with the fact that my one video is not working after all the hundreds of videos that I've uploaded at this point. Northwest of Dornan. I think I was headed to Dornan anyway. I was. Oh man, they're going to pay us a fortune. And I kind of want to come back here anyway. At kind of the end of my circuit. So we're going to head over to Dornan. You meet a monk on the roads, and with him is a donkey-pulled cart. The poor draught animal carrying its head low in mute exhaustion. Broom straw and virid moss are strung up to one side of the cart, both twisting eagerly in the very winds that dried them. And some pots and pans clatter like rustic wind chimes as the modest wares come to a bumbling stop. A barrel totters on the edge of the cart's bed, and a couple of bees sway to keep up, poking and prodding at its cracks with thirsty curiosity. The monk lifts a wool hat above his face, but the lip of it folds back down over his eyes. He takes it off altogether and passes a sleeve across his brow. Carrying a jolly smile, he seems not at all disturbed by the veritable living armory standing before him. Evening, gents. Don't suppose you're the kind to march beneath the Lord's banner. You look like sellswords to me. This guy reminds me of Friar Tuck from the Kevin Costner Robin Hood with Morgan Freeman too. That dude played like the perfect Friar Tuck. What is it you carry? Aye, I was thinking you'd ask. This here is Bessie, a cow's name for a donkey's arse. Don't worry, she won't kick you. She's all hauled out, see? What she carry? Well, that's beer. For men yonder, so that they may drink to men above. If you don't mind, or if you don't mind my business, I'd like to get on where I be going. The monk picks up the reins of his jinny as he readies to start moving. How many crowns for a round of beer? I'm not going to steal beer from a kindly monk. You hold your hands up, stopping the monk before he can get going again. He sighs, slowly lowering the reins out of his hand. Feeling as though he may be getting the wrong impression, you quickly ask as if maybe he has beer to spare for your men. You are more than willing to pay. The monk looks back at his stock for a moment, then turns around. Aye, damn it to hells if the gods wouldn't be happy with your money crossing me palms. If you fight the good fight, then I bid you to take some for free, but not all of it, of course. You thank the monk for his generosity and order your men to be modest with their drinking. As a few brothers circle around to the cask, the monk throws his hands up. Don't mind the bees round the top. They'll scurry when you come. But if you scurry when they scurry, they'll scurry after you. Strange little gits. This is the best description of the behavior of bees I've ever heard. Don't scurry when they scurry. That's like exactly what I tell my kids. Like, just be calm around bees and they won't sting you. But if you, like, run around all nervous, like, they very well might sting you. That's awesome. I wonder what would happen if we tried to rob him. He ended up giving us the beer for free and putting our entire, company in a great mood. Which is awesome. Not going to complain about that. And this place is very close by. They're paying us a small fortune to go and deal with this. So that's what we're going to do. I'm assuming it's got some warriors and berserkers and whatever. No harm in a little extra drinking. And we're going to visit Brockburg because it's going to be daytime about the time we get there. Uncharted Cave, I think, is just more berserkers. Yeah. It would 100% be worth it to go there. I don't feel like fighting dire wolves in the swamps. If you guys weren't watching, I would be taking these fights. 100%. Wow, we pick up... Well, we didn't we didn't buy it yet, but in my brain I'm like, that's mine. Sir Sigmund's Destroyer. A long two-handed axe designed for battle that bears down heavy with every swing and can easily cut a man in two. 80 to 100 damage. So this is a different kind of axe, I'm pretty sure. This is... No, is this just straight up? This isn't considered a long axe. This is just like a great axe. I was thinking this would have the range of 2, but it doesn't. If you're wondering why I'm a bit confused. It kind of has the same look. So unfortunately, I think we only have one brother who uses an axe like that, and it's Behemoth. And he already has one. Now, the other one might be stronger than his. That's something we could definitely investigate. So let's see, we've got, the durability doesn't matter. So 75 to 90, I can already tell you, the other one is 80 to 100. So that's an extra 15 damage. This one is 50 to 167. Okay, so it ignores armor a bit better, but it's a less effective against armor. It only has 12 fatigue, and I can actually do it this way. Much better. So it's 4. This one's 4 heavier, the Reaver's Destroyer, but it does have much more shield damage. I would say they're comparable. If you made me choose one, I would probably take this one for just the extra 15 damage on it. I think for the most part, on average, if you took like the lifespan of the weapon of your playthrough, you'd probably get more damage out of this. Do we have any other brothers that use axes? Like in a two-handed setting? Let's go to perks. So we know that Sir Muldoon does, but he has a great one-handed axe. He's got hammer mastery. Cleaver there. Another cleaver, another hammer. Yeah, just Behemoth. I don't know if we need to buy Behemoth a second weapon, but man, it's tempting. Because we'd essentially be going broke to do it. It's just not necessary. And if we come across a good piece of armor soon, something like that, I would regret it. I would heavily regret it. So sadly, I'm going to let what is probably one of the strongest weapons in the game slip through our fingers. I don't even think there's any other brother like who would use it. For instance, we have like Skeeb here. You know, he's got the flail, but that's just kind of cool and different. Chance to hit somebody in the head. Wait a second, hold on. Where is Hans? Does Hans have Headhunter? He does. I think we need to do this. Alright, minor correction, we did it. I guess you could say what I'm really looking for right now is just a good set of armor. Perhaps something unique for Behemoth. As cool as it's been to have him in his Barbarian King outfit this whole time, it's not nearly as good as if we just put him... Man, do we kill these guys? Let's kill these dudes before we go for the day. Then we'll stop by Brunwald. Happy not to be fighting in the swamp. Everyone has their weapons. I didn't mess that up. Okay, good. But yeah, the Barbarian King armor is just not quite good enough to take him into the Black Monolith fight. Even if we just need to put him in someone else's armor once again, or get him his own full... He has a full helm, just waiting to be used. But also, you know, like a coat of plates would be nice. We could simply buy one of those for about 10k. I'll take it. One less archer to bug us. And no reason for us to be on low footing versus these guys. You guys remember when it used to be scary to fight these types of enemies, this size of a force? Pepperidge Farm remembers. Speaking of scary, earlier I was playing some Dota Underlords and my mouse like popped in my hand. It sounded like it was exploding. Ended up looking it up. Apparently Logitech mouses have like a history of like exploding. It's got to be something to do with the electrical. But like my wife and I were just kind of like sitting on the sofa chilling, and then it just popped like loud as hell in my hand. Luckily I took out the battery. Nothing seemed to have been, you know, damaged. I'm using the mouse right now, the same mouse. Could have been worse, I guess. Could be telling you guys the story of how I lost my hand to a Logitech mouse. Not a very cool story, I wouldn't imagine. Alright, get the easy pickings kills. I don't think it much matters who we shoot at, y'all. This is just a kind of a fun fight. Was hoping to get maybe something good off of Black Eyes, Ironheart. Doesn't look like it's going to happen, though. Nothing we want, anyway. I mean, we'll make some money off of his fighting axe and his helmet and stuff if we end up getting it. Not a guarantee. See if we can step past. Damn, wrecked. Okay. Moved in on Isaac, a bold strategy, Cotton. Just really wanted to make sure that no one escapes. Svarog, if you don't kill this guy in one shot, I'm gonna doubt your manhood. He's got riposte up. What's gonna happen is he's gonna go to swing at him and he's gonna miss. And get smacked in the face by a guy with a little dinky sword. Nope, decapitated. He heard me. That should be a one-shot, one-kill. I don't remember who it was, but someone in the comments section told me that this weapon was like bad or not to use it. I throw down the gauntlet to you, sir, whoever you were. I love these two-handed maces. I think they're awesome. I've never been anything but impressed. It's just like the sheer damage that they do. And you get kind of this weird feeling of like hyper accuracy, which may not be a thing. But I just feel like I always hit with them. Even down to him like hitting the Rachegeist on the first shot. He almost one-shotted him in his ghost form, which would have been great. We will most certainly run him down. I mean, just the brutal efficiency of such a weapon. Impressive. Alright, let's stop by Brunwald. And that'll be the end of today's episode. Wish me luck uploading this, I guess. For all I know, I'm going to go to upload this video and it won't work. And then I'm just going to have to tell you guys about how cool it was that I was able to one-shot the boss. So we have the chance here to buy either the coat of plates or the coat of scales. They're both good. Truthfully. It's just about how much fatigue can you afford on the particular brother that you're trying to outfit. And there are no weapons that we need. Let's just do it. Done. No looking back. And here you go, Behemoth. Where is it? Man in heavy metal. What are we going to add to it? The Lindworm Cloak is a pretty amazing thing to add, but we're going to save it for some of our lighter armor. Like this, for instance, deserves something better. I was thinking about putting the Kraken plate or the Horn plate on it, and I think that's what I'm going to do. And there we go. So, yeah, that was always going to happen. And whenever we get the Kraken shield, we just need to kill some Scrat. Find some Scrat and kill him. We'll give him the shield as well. But for this, we have bone plating, which of course has served us well. I also like the fact that it doesn't add any weight. We also have additional fur padding. Let's go ahead and use that. We have a couple of these. We've been holding on to them for a long time. We'll give those to Behemoth and call that good. So a little bit less armor piercing on his weapon, on his armor will make it so that his HP goes a lot longer, and that they, you know, the durability on his armor goes a longer way as well. We even picked up a level on Svarog. You deserve it, man. Let's give him some fatigue. His fatigue is actually great. Melee defense is, range defense is garbage, but where we're going, we don't need range defense. Just take one more point in resolve. Let's try and get up to 60. Oh, man. So we made some pretty cool advances today. Let's sell the one that's already repaired. Give you guys the satisfaction of watching the coffers go up. And you better believe we're not selling our barbarian armor. We don't need extra mushrooms. We already have some in our inventory in case we want to use them. Does anyone have any severe injuries? Because I could use that pill. And then before we go, I guess we'll go and check out what the fight is. Just in case some of you guys were curious. And we're going to head back down to Dornan after. If it's an epic enough fight, maybe a champion, something like that, I could consider, you know, opening up tomorrow's episode with it. But if it's just like a few orc warriors, a few berserkers, a few whatever, then we're just going to say pass. And I'm going to do it off camera. Yeah. That's a pretty whatever fight. Could make it much more interesting by attacking them when they're next to each other. But guys, that's going to be it for me today. Thank you so much for watching today's episode. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm super stoked that we were able to accomplish what we did. Once again, though, my name is Brett. My channel is Goodtalk Gaming. Guys, if you haven't subscribed already, consider doing it. That type of thing helps me out a lot. We're getting near to the very end of this Let's Play. And, you know, once we get there, that's it. We're going to start over again. And start thinking about that if you guys are interested in having named characters and things in some of our upcoming series. Get the, Actually, guys, I'm super sidetracked. I'm looking at my phone right now. Trying to do an outro, but I'm looking at my phone, looking at just one last time at the Rachegeist and his stats to see if maybe there's anything in here that I could, one last tidbit of information that I could give to you. You know what? Another good thing that I thought about that I was going to do, because I felt for sure we were going to lose in the first chance, the first fight we took. But what I was going to do was bring in John with the net, and I think we might even have a reinforced net somewhere, although I may have used that in a previous fight. But netting the Rachegeist in its physical form is very effective. So that's just another little tidbit. You could just net him down, keep him from getting to you. Also, I will say that we learned something also that I wouldn't have thought of just off the top of my head without having the experience of playing it. We were able to keep the Rachegeist back for several turns through sheer luck with the Spiked Impaler. The Impaler's use on Leisure Side, I think it was. Leisure Side hitting the Rachegeist, I think, 3 times in that fight, knocking him back. Probably set the Rachegeist back maybe even three turns on being able to get in and attack us. At least 2. But what it did was it kind of staggered its entry into the front lines. And then by the time the rest of the heroes and the betrayers had wrapped around us, there was no room for the Rachegeist. So it really did set him back a lot. So I would recommend, if you get a chance, if you're not doing the whole tank strategy with a Swordmaster type character, then consider just trying to poke him back, if that's at all possible, with Impalers. And every turn that we were able to keep him back was another turn where we weren't taking lightning to the face. So a little bit of interesting information there right at the end. But guys, thank you so much for watching. And as always, y'all, I will see you in the next one. Take care.